Kuala Lumpur, what can I say about it? Well, I spent 5 days there, so I can actually say a few things. Just wanted to let you know that this isn't a guide, this isn't an itinerary. I won't provide a list of prices, so if you're looking into that sort of stuff, this video ain't it. It's just my impressions, how I perceive things, how I felt. So bear with me because I wanted to be impressed, and impressed I was. So normally when I visit a new country, I try to do some research, watch a few movies, read a book or two, to get a grasp of the culture. But this time, I don't know if it's because I was too lazy or it was just a lot of stuff going on in my life, I was too busy with work. I didn't have the time or just didn't bother doing it. And when I got there, I was in for a shock. I've been to the airport like so many times, because when you're traveling through Southeast Asia, you always see those sales or crazy cheap flights leaving Kuala Lumpur. It's constant and you can't help but visit that airport many times. But throughout my years, I never actually left it. I never ventured out of the airport to see what Malaysia has to offer. This time though, it was different. And you notice straight away how cheap public transportation is in the city. Seriously, if you're trying to use a bus or the train, it will cost you around 1 ringgit, which when you convert to American dollars, it's nothing. It's 10 cents. Come on, if you're traveling as a tourist, this is so cheap. And also, the airport has this sort of bullet train, which will take you from Terminal 1 or 2 to Kuala Lumpur Central in roughly 30 minutes, and it's reliable. You know you're gonna be there. It has different runs throughout the day. You can check the timetable. It's clean, it is comfortable, it's great, it's just reliable. But not just that, if you're trying to be a rich tourist and use only taxis and Grab instead, it's crazy cheap still. And if you're trying to visit a city nearby, such as Malacca or Penang, you will pay very little, especially if you're traveling by bus. I visit Malacca and I pay 10 ringgit in a 2-hour trip. The bus was comfortable, spacious, it had aircon, it was like a smooth ride, and it was 10 ringgit. It's unbelievable. On a different note, the food was definitely a surprise as well. I'm gonna be honest with you, I had high expectations for Kuala Lumpur when it comes to food, because when you talk about Malaysia to other people, food is always the main thing they talk about, right? It's the nasi lemak, the char kway teow or something like that. Don't hate me. And all the other dishes. But when you visit a few cities, you realize that Kuala Lumpur has nothing special when it comes to local cuisine. Especially when you compare it to Penang or Malacca. Those cities, they offer much better food at a much better price. There, I said it. It's just better, Penang in particular, but that is for local cuisine only, because if you're looking into something more international, let's say Japanese food, Italian food for example, you're gonna see all those nice, fancy, fine dining restaurants, and they don't charge a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go to those places, but I spoke with a lot of expats. I know people that used to live there in the past or are living there, and I met during my trip, and they all say like, oh, if you want to go to a nice restaurant, Kuala Lumpur is the place, because it's quite cheap if you compare it to another big global city, So I think this is why also when you type something related to Kuala Lumpur on YouTube, you see all those videos with something the lines about affordable luxury. It's kind of weird, but maybe that's why, because you can find those fine dining experiences for quite a affordable amount of money. I didn't do it, but that's what I heard. But since we were talking about YouTube videos of people mentioning affordable luxury, something that also took me by surprise are the hotel prices. You're gonna see a plethora of those videos claiming that you can stay in those 5-star hotels for like 30 American dollars. If you ask me, this is bullshit. You know, when I booked, I had a completely different scenario. Maybe it's just the time of the year that I went. I was there during December, so maybe that's like really high season, and naturally hotels will ask much more. Maybe if I went off season, it would be much cheaper. But I got okay prices for not okay places, you know? Like, it wasn't that cheap at all. Like, it was pretty on par to what you would expect to pay in cities like Tokyo or Seoul or Bangkok. Nothing cheap. So don't take for granted what people say out there. Hell, like, don't believe what I say. Do your own research. Check Agoda, Booking.com, and you can compare prices. So since we're already speaking about time of the year, something that comes to my mind is the weather. It's hot all year round. You can ask Malaysians, there's no way around it. It's freaking hot. Fortunately, they have AC basically everywhere you go. You know, you dig a tunnel underground, you're gonna find AC there. It's like just like that. You need AC. And the only difference is the country can be in the rain season or not. When I went there, it was the rainy season, but nothing that will deter you from exploring. So basically, the day starts hot, it gets hotter. By 2-3 p.m. it's gonna rain, and then temperature will cool down a little bit, and later in the night it rains again, and that's it. Every day it's gonna be like that, but you'll be fine, you know. Really soon after the rain stops, it's gonna be dry. Like, you won't even notice it rained at all. It's just like that. But if it makes you happy, the weather in Kuala Lumpur is slightly milder than the other cities. It's something, right? But I've been rambling here for minutes. I still didn't mention the things you can see and do in Kuala Lumpur. And I'm not gonna lie, as a tourist, there's not an awful lot. So, like, the main ones are pretty obvious. There's Chinatown, and you're gonna see all the counterfeit stalls, the little alleys with street art, small restaurants and bars, the street food everywhere, and you see this mixture of temples. You know, you're gonna see Buddhist temples there, you're gonna see Hindu temples, everything happening all at once. You also have the Twin Petronas Towers. I don't even have to mention it, right? Everyone knows about it. And the area around KLCC, Korea, and all the other fancy shopping malls. You also have Merodakwa Square and the mosques around. It's quite nice to walk around and see just people watch, you know, people living their daily life and all the madness around. And yeah, and also the Batu Caves. That's like absolutely gorgeous, stunning. I was in awe all my time when I was there because it's just like breathtaking. You get there and you see that massive golden statue, the colorful stairs, the crazy monkeys and pigeons causing absolute chaos. You see tourists from everywhere in the world dying to reach the top. And yeah, it's just like a really special place. It's breathtaking, really. So that's pretty much it as a tourist. If you sum up all the time that I stayed there, it was 5 days, but as I said, I was jumping here and there and I needed extra time, airport, to rest, and etc. If you're planning to stay there continuously, you definitely don't need more than 3 days. More than that, you're gonna be bored, as I was. That, of course, if you're going as a tourist. If you're planning to live there, you know, be a digital nomad or something of the sort, everyone that I spoke with that being that situation, they only had good things about it. It's a good city. You it doesn't lose to any other major city. It has everything you need at an affordable price. And yeah, so do I recommend it? Absolutely. Stay there for 3 days and also use the city as a hub when you're traveling through Southeast Asia. It's gonna be amazing while it lasts. So this is it for me. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think about it. If you have something to add about Kuala Lumpur, or if I'm just a moron talking nonsense, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in a different situation, in a different occasion. Bye bye.